Hello, beautiful stars. Welcome to today's reading. So with the 1111 portal here, the energy was happening today. And of course, when you tune in, whenever you tune in, it's going to be capturing the energy of this day into this reading. So as the topic suggests, Spirit wants us to look into specifically what is flowering for you. So perhaps what is blooming for you, what is coming into higher ascension and vibration for you, we will find out in the reading, but that is the topic that Spirit wanted to bring up. All right, so let's look at your options here. We have 3 piles for you. Pile 1, we have this as your oracle. And this is this image. Your tarot and its image. Your Lenormand and its image. Okay, pile 2. This is your oracle and its image. Your tarot and its image. Your Lenormand and its image. Okay, and pile 3. This is your oracle and its image. Your tarot and its image. And your Lenormand and its image. Alright, lovely stars, take a moment to tune in to your intuition. Whichever calls out to you right away, or whichever ones call out to you is probably the one for you. I would also wanted to add that these are representative cards, so they may or may not show up in your reading. Okay. Alright, so take a moment, tune in. The timestamps for the piles are down below. Select your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, Pile 1s. Welcome to your reading. Alright, so let's start off with your main oracle here. And we're looking at what is flowering for you. So we have the citrus with 45 here. Okay, so growing into your power and getting protected as well. I see getting pieces of the pie. It's something that's been developing. Okay. And then we have the cherry. Oh, very nice energy. It'll be almost quite unexpected. It's been in development, but it almost comes as a surprise. Huh, okay. And then we have blackthorn. Okay. It's divinely timed. Yes, there's an element of what you don't expect, in the sense that it's almost like you thought you didn't have it, or you didn't have the capability of it, but you quite do. And it's gonna come almost at its full potential, straight to you. Okay, they're also pointing out 40 as well. So that might be an age range for some of you in the 40s here. Or actually, I'm getting timing too, in 40 days. Yes, 40-ish days, 40, 45, 43. Okay. Alright, let's look at your other oracle here. Okay, so we have openness. And at first I thought I saw oneness here. Okay. Some of the constellations stands out. But I do not recognize them, so I can't say what they are. For some reason, Sagittarius is coming through, but the stars are aligning. And it's going to be interesting. It already started with the eclipse season. Starting with the solar to the lunar eclipse a couple days ago and about a couple weeks back. But yeah, Sagittarius is standing out. We're gonna stick with that. Okay, let's see what your other oracles are. So we have Fern. Okay. I get a strong sense of relationship. Alright, so Fern speaks to us about life force and vitality. It also speaks to us about invisibility, the bracken fern. What it tells me is that it's almost as if you've been in hiding or in seclusion or in kind of hermit mode, hermit phase, doing your thing. And it's like, I hear an éclat de tonnerre. I don't know why, but French is coming through. So like a class or a clap of thunder, like vital life force being sent down through spirit or a very powerful energy coming down that will give you kind of like a soothing, calm relaxation. Let's explain this better. Something unexpected, kind of like a clap of lightning here, coming through and resonating through the valleys. Yeah, like it's sound. The lightning strikes down, sparks charge the entire environment. The sound echoes throughout the forest, and somehow that clears and cleanses everything. But not only that, it charges, it revitalizes it makes the air almost like electric, is what I'm getting. And then after that, it brings some sort of soothing. And we have the 11:11 with the 11:11 portal here. That's the time of the clock right now. But we have this soothing wave or period that you're going to get into. It's a period of, it's just a very soothing, calm energy that flows over. But at the same time, it's going to be productive for you, quite productive. Okay, let's look at our last oracle and then we'll tie in the energy here. Okay, so we have Mandrake. Okay. Wealth, fertility, and abundance. And also coming into the spotlight, getting noticed, getting recognized for the beauty that you are. But yes, definitely fertility. So a lot of fertile energy here, corresponding with the cycles of the moon and divine timing. And we see a lot of blossoming. Talk about flowering, right? So that is the topic we have at hand. And we see a lot of flowering for you. And what is flowering for you is a couple of things, actually. Yeah, you're not getting only one blessings or one flowering. Part of it is, okay, let's talk about, there's so many. Let's go over here first. So first is the flowering or the empowerment of you coming into power, or recognition of your power more so. It's like we mentioned before, it's as if you've had this power, or you've had these abilities, or you had these capabilities to do whatever you set your mind out to, right? If it's something in your work, you doubted yourself, you always had the capability, but you've always doubted yourself, or didn't think you had the full, perhaps managerial capabilities to handle such an organization or a group of people. On the psychic realm, doubting yourself that you weren't ever psychic enough or had enough abilities to connect to your higher self or spirit, or whatever you associate with. But actually, it's always been with you. The ability is there. It just has to be recognized, strengthened, enhanced. Yeah, more so. And okay, I still want to speak to that for a little bit. Yes, so this combination here, coming into your power, realizing your power, it's this serendipitous kind of effect, energy that spirit sends down like a crack of lightning, that kind of wakes you up, especially in through the eclipse season here, or indicating with the cycles of the moon. Even we see here, it's kind of like the colors of an eclipse, and the spirit here, I mean the rope here, reminds me kind of like, well, not only the red thread of fate, but spirit's protection around you. Yes, so one is stepping into that power along with the cycles, getting some sort of blessings that will kind of wake you up to it. The other part is a romantic energy coming through, or some sort of productive, fertile relationship, or project or offering coming through. Abundance, it's mainly the word that encapsulates it, because not only is it coming in form of relationship for some of you, relationship potential, romantic, it's also coming in forms of wealth, financial wealth. So let's speak about the romantic aspect. I don't know, Sagittarius is coming through strongly. Perhaps it's a fire sign you're going to be linked, connected with, but anyways, or Sagittarius season to Sagittarius season, which is I want to say, yes, within the next month or so at the time this reading is filmed. So whenever you tune in, it's within about a month or so. We don't call it December. Yes. Okay. So there's that. So this timing is within Sagittarius season. Yeah, so if you're tuning in now, it's going to be a month-ish from now. If you're tuning in later, it's whenever Sagittarius season is, for whenever you're tuning in. Subtract the time from that. Okay. And in regards to, let's speak to the relationship aspect. It's going to be a very soothing, smooth, fertile period in regards to this relationship. It will give you, just kind of like a nice respite from everyday life. No, it's going to be, what's the right word? Lucrative is not the right word, but that word is coming in regards to wealth. So if it's a relationship with a business partner, it's going to be something lucrative. if it's a relationship with a romantic partner, it's going to be rich, enriching. Those are the best words I have at the moment for this. So it's going to be a very nice, enriching period, where I also see you get to indulge in your pleasures as well, and that is in all its form. I think you can think of what that is. Yes. We'll leave that there. We'll just say it's going to be a very fertile period for you. Okay, and then we have here with, yes, so this is the wealth and abundance. You know what, there is really no word of caution. Usually there is one that comes with Mandrake in regards with overdoing it. Mandrake is also very magical too. But now I'm just getting the energy of your blessings. And that feels amazing. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, yeah, so that's what we have coming. That's what's flowering for you. Really nice. Let's get into our tarot. Our Lenormand has not been touched in the sense that we haven't shuffled it. We haven't gotten a form for it. Spirit wanted me to get into that later, so we can do that later. Okay, let's get into our tarot here. So we have the Sun. Okay. And then we have the Two of Cups. Okay. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. And last we have the Page of Pentacles. Talk about the Pentacles. Okay. Okay, let me scoot this up just a little bit. Okay, yeah, so first we already initially see like a burst of joy energy that's flowing through, right? It's like that clap of thunder that's flowing right underneath here with the sun. As you can see, before I pushed it out, it was like, anywho, it's falling and yeah, it's like this serendipitous spark of energy that just flows in and electrifies the air. Basically, it wakes you up in so many ways and it brings things to you in so many ways. And let's talk about kind of like the surface everyday aspect. Relationship is coming through strongly once again. I do see, it does point me out to the two snakes here, indicating some sort of healer, health aspect, working with that aspect, collaborating with somebody else. So let's speak to the non-romantics first. If you are not looking for a romantic relationship, or you don't ascribe to that message that's coming through, which is coming through quite strongly, I'll reiterate. But if you don't, perhaps it's a partnership that has to do with the healing fields. Yeah, so something like a doctor, alternative medicine, psychology. Oh, okay, I'm also getting healing in a general sense. You going out and doing things in nature, like gardening and tending to, say, like the community garden even, right? That is also very healing for in so many ways. Yeah, confirmation with that with 1122. So yeah, that is healing in many ways. So there's different forms of healing coming through here, but definitely healing in many sense of the word. It's not just limited to career fields. Somebody who goes and picks up trash or cleans up the lake is also doing a very healing service. Or somebody who gives encouraging words and advice to somebody who's having a bad day is also very healing. Okay. All right, so speaking to that aspect, now let's speak to the romantic counterpart relationship. So in regards to that, yes, we saw something coming already, that will not only start a relationship, but make it very, it's going to grow really quickly, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. The let's see, the energy that I feel for it, you'll be quite embracing of each other, and it just grows so quickly that the image I get, it's like a fence and grapes, grapevines coming, and grapes can grow very quickly with its tendrils, climbing, with its climbing tendrils. So it develops very quickly, and at the same time it's very enriching and nourishing of a relationship that comes about. And okay, we have Six of Pentacles right underneath the Two of Cups here. We see reciprocity, but we see counterpart very strongly as well. Usually, yes, perhaps it's the Six of Cups, but here I'm getting strongly the Six of Pentacles energy as well. It speaks a lot more than Six of Cups energy here. It speaks soulmate counterpart in addition with creation in the physical world with that soulmate, with that counterpart, creating wealth out of that. Definitely divinely guided, as you see this figure here, kind of guiding these two souls together, spirit team guiding them together, higher self. Yes, and it's going to begin a very new proliferative era, I want to say, for you. A period, phase, it's not sufficient of a word to describe the era that you're going to shift into in your life in terms of its productivity. I mean, we have the cherry blossom here, and cherry blossom signifies a very productive era. So in your life, so what's about to come, it's going to be very fruitful, very advantageous, very prosperous era that you're shifting into. So this flowering, it's going to be at its peak of flowering. That's what's flowering for you. A very splendid, amazing, rich, fulfilling era of time in your life is what's coming up. Yes. And for those, looking for love, be ready for it, because it's coming your way. You're going to receive it. Give it about a month's time or so, or if you're if you're tuning in at a time, Sagittarius season. And if you don't know what Sagittarius season is, just look up the zodiac sign Sagittarius on Google, and it will tell you the time frame for when that is. Absolutely wonderful. All right, let's move on to our Lenormand here. I think we captured the essence of that message. Okay, so we have the Carmela Lenormand for you. And let's see, for pile number 1, Spirit, can we get a form for pile 1's Lenormand? Can we get a form for pile 1's Lenormand, please, Spirit? Okay, I'm getting a couple forms. Ooh, okay. Okay, this is an interesting. So first, I saw the apple, which in its form means so many things. It means fruitfulness. It means abundance and wealth. It also means protection, like we saw earlier here. And then it also... yes, mainly the ones that are coming up is protection, wealth. It represents knowledge, but I'm not getting that so much. Okay, so we'll stick with those because those are the ones that are coming out strongly. But the interesting thing is about this apple is it's not. I mean, already seeing the form for the card shape for you, Lenormand, but I see it's almost like these two figures are on two sides of a bridge. I see like the water. It's like it's a small kind of creek stream. It's or lake ish. It's not like a huge body of water. But anyways, it's a nice, serene, placid little lake. And then a bridge coming together, and the apple is in the middle of the bridge. It's either there on the bridge or connecting the bridge, something like that. But I see two people on the different sides of the bridge. They're coming together on this bridge. They're still standing on this side. So they haven't met up yet. Which indicates the energy here. You two have not met up yet, or you have not come into union with each other yet. But yeah, so you're gonna meet in the middle with the apple, whatever that means, with the wealth and the abundance, and it's the protection. It's protected as well, which means it's divinely guided. Okay, so coming together for that, so we have, let's see, how many cards? 2 here, one side of the bridge, 2 there, the apple in the middle, that's 5, and then we want 6, 7, okay. Alright, Pile1, so let's draw all that for you. I mean, draw all those cards. Okay, Spirit, can we please get, ooh, okay. This one, this one, okay. Okay, we want this on this side, and we need 1, 2, 4 more cards. I think I will take this one and this one. Okay, now we just have to draw 2 more. This is very interesting. This is not the first time this has happened to me, Pile1, but they've had me combine Lenormand and Tarot before. And some of you hearing that now might be like, what? How is that possible? And that's what I thought too, first when that happened to me. But you know what? Spirit has a way of doing things. And I'm going to follow those ways. Okay, so we're going to combine your Lenormand and your Tarot here because they want me to use the Tarot to signify your 2 personalities. Yes, so whoever's on each side of the bridge, it could be you here or here and the other party here and here. Take it as it resonates, and then yes, put together the personality accordingly. But it's just basically, I mean, it could be similar too because you two are so similar in energy. This is your soulmate counterpart we're talking about. All right, so can we get 2 cards to represent pile number 1, please, Spirit, and their counterpart? Okay. All right, so let's see here. Not this one, this one. Okay, and then one more. This is the one, Spirit. Yes, no. Is that a maybe? Okay, you know what? We're gonna shuffle. We're not gonna dilly-dally. Yes, thank you. Okay. Alright, so, you know, we want to speak to your personalities first because I am curious. So let's look at this person. Oh, just got the shivers. Whoever this is, either you or them or both of you, because counterpart resonate on the same energy. So you both have very creative energy. One is more feminine in nature. Let me put that correctly. One is more intuitive in nature, yes. And one is more practical in nature. Thank you. See, we even see the two flowers stemming here, but the same energy is within both of you. The pure power and magic to create. It is that creative energy that you both hold so well. One of you, you can create a lot on the ethereal realm, which means you have a great manifesting ability. You know how to connect energy, how to visualize, how to picture, how to manifest, how to make things go from the ethereal realm into the 3D realm. And the other partner is able to create a lot more easily on the physical realm, knowing who to talk to, what to do, what steps, plans to take to to make their vision or their dream come true. So it's the same creative energy, and eventually they both manifest simultaneously, because as above so below, right? So it influences each other simultaneously, but one is a lot more proficient at doing it on the physical realm, and one is a lot more proficient at doing it on the ethereal realm, and together oh my god, this card here and this card here with the Six of Pentacles and creation here, you two are going to create amazing, wonderful things. Because you both possess such strong creative manifesting abilities, perhaps even unbeknownst to yourselves, that you create all the wishes and dreams that you want come true. Wow. Okay, so that's both of your energy. Like I said, it encapsulates both of your energy when you resonate so closely to each other on the same wavelength. And we have the Queen of Swords. This speaks to both of your energy again right away. It's what I'm getting. You both are very intelligent. So yeah, I'm going to speak to both of your energy. I might point out individual for each one of you if that's just the case. But you both are very intelligent. You know how to... Okay, manifest is coming through here again. So yeah, we already talked about that. You both know how to manifest. But yeah, it's the same energy. One of you, wow, it's doing it so intuitively. So yeah, you know your gifts, you know your talents, your innate abilities, to do it on a level that is so I almost want to say mystical and psychically, and the other one of you know how to do it so practically. It's like you're at the top of your game in terms of knowing and planning and organizing. But the thing is, we do not have a king here, right? We have a queen. So there is, the queen is considered the heart of the suit, as opposed to the king is considered the ruler of the suit in the tarot. So that could speak to things that can be developed here, and also things that that are not to the extreme. So while you both are manifesting and creating and so intelligently within your mind, you don't allow to take it too far to where you you don't go too cerebral about it. You still have a sense of creative energy to kind of balance that out. Because yes, it's it's good to be cerebral, it's good to organize, it's good to create, plan, lay the foundation, the blueprints, all that stuff. But if you're too much in that energy, then it can become a bit too perhaps stringent or strict at times. So it's good that you both are in your queen energy. You add an element of emotions and in tune and intuition and being in touch there to whatever projects you're creating, to whatever energy you're creating, which is a really nice touch and balance to that. Okay, let's see your bridge and how you come together and see what fruitfulness arise in the middle when you meet up. So we have the heart. uh, of course, we have the heart. That's absolutely lovely. And I believe I'm getting also. Oh, okay. We're getting hydrangeas and roses, and then some perhaps violets as well. But I see here you two are close next to each other. But one of you, let's just speak to the uniqueness of each of your individual energy, but coming together. So, in a very loving, caring relationship. We already said it was quite fruitful, quite enriching, quite peaceful period of a phase here. One of you is going to be looking out for the other in a very loving manner, a more almost kind of like protective, but in a positive way. It's not overly protective. It's just so much love, so much care. It's like, I want to hold you in my arm and protect you and make sure the world does not hurt you or swallow you up. Lovely energy. We want to go to the other side of the bridge. Actually, we're going to come together this way. Okay, we have the scythe. Okay, so two things going on with this side of the energy. Jack of... this I have a strong feeling. It's almost like your counterpart, if it's not you. There's a little bit of you in here, more so their counterpart. As we see, we have two jacks here too. See, you're more the jacks of heart, and they're more the jack of not spades, diamonds. The material realm. Anywho, back on track. So, two messages here. They are cutting out some things from their life, perhaps with old relationships as well that didn't seem to work out. It's like this splot yellow paint here in the back. But at the same time, they're harvesting what they've learned, what they've acquired from those relationships. So if they've gone to relationships that have been hard for them, and but it comes with a lot of beneficial lessons, it's the lessons that they will extract and take away with them while cutting away the relationships, the exes and stuff like that, they have let go. And this can apply for you as well, right? Like we said, counterpart energy. When I say you or them, take it both way if it does resonate, because we talked about that resonance earlier before. So your relationship as well, taking away or extracting what's beneficial and leaving the so taking the lessons, but moving on from those people in your life that are not beneficial for you or for your growth. Yes. Let's look at this side. We have the feminine energy. Okay, lovely. Almost like I see her touching a starfish here. If you can see that, it looks like a starfish from this, or this. That's what the energy I'm getting is in this reading. So it's like she's touching her dreams, the star. And she's a gorgeous figure. So one of you hold more of that divine feminine. This is divine feminine deck after all. More of that divine feminine intuitive energy, that very receptive divine feminine energy. I will scream if this is the masculine energy. It's not. Okay. Okay, this is the other party's energy. Yeah, they are very much, I'm getting this as for both energy, but I'll speak to it as them. Very much in their own kind of work, kind of whatever they have going on right now, the projects, their career. They're really focused and oriented. 19 is standing out to me. December 19th. That is, so like I said, about a month and a month from now is Sagittarius season. A month further is about, I mean, the 19th is about a month and a half-ish. Timing is coming through, so I'm just going to convey it as is. Not seeing these numbers, seeing 19 specifically. Anywho, back to where they are. Yeah, just very cooped up, focused, doing their own thing, and you might be as well, since we talked about that energy earlier. So, yes. Okay, and the pièce de la résistance, the finale here, what have we got? The book. Okay. 26 is also coming out. So we'll also point that. Closing an old chapter, opening and writing a new chapter. Okay. It's like you both are going to be studying each other like a book. It's almost like it's almost like kind of semi looking into a mirror. We talked about, seeing so much of yourself in the other party because you resonate as such a balanced energy. It's what I say. That it's, it makes you curious. It's like, what, there's somebody in this world who's like actually likes that, hears that, thinks of that, thinks that way about this exact thing that I think about it. It piques your curiosity, so that's why you two will be studying each other like a book. The fascination, it's the word that's coming through, will be so strong, and that's the magnetic force that kind of pulls you together. Because we talked about this being a bridge, right? So this is almost like the pathway there. One party, remember the dual energy here. One party is kind of a bit in their own phase, in their own energy right now, dealing with old lessons and then moving towards the bridge here. One party is just a loving, free, caring, going, very receptive, divine, feminine energy, open to whatever possibilities there are. We have openness in that previous oracle card here. So these are the energies you two are coming in with. And the union is going to be amazing. Oh my god, I just realized. I don't know if you realized. the union here in the middle, the bridging between the two, falls exactly over where you two are meeting. Oh my god, with the tarot. That's incredible. And then the two energy that describes and represents you both, which they wanted me to choose out of the tarot, kind of falls where the person is as well. So many amazing, wonderful synchronicities here. All right, pile number one, that was your reading. Absolutely beautiful. So much to look forward to. That is precisely what's flowering for you. And boy, oh boy, what a flowering indeed. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. That's all I have to say. That's all the words I have for it. Alright, so if you enjoyed that reading, if you found it helpful, insightful, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you have not for more messages. I wish you an absolutely wonderful, magical day. Remember to shine bright, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, pile number ones. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Alright, so before we start with any of your oracle cards, I just wanted to mention your Lenormand first. because it's a very interesting image depiction scene. So I want to state first because I have no idea what any of these cards are about to show or reveal to us. So I want to see the synchronicities fall through with our Lenormand. So we have 3 cards, but the picture we have for your Lenormand, or the scene I should say, is a cookie jar with, so one of the cards is just the lid on top. That's the one that comes first. And then next we have a dog like peering over the counter looking at the cookie jar, and then we have a cookie as the third card in the jar. It's a clear glass jar. There's the dog on the counter looking at it, just panting with his tongue out, and there's the lid on top of the cookie jar. So that's what we have for your Lenormand. And it's easy to say like, oh, maybe that image came so easily because there's a dog here. Maybe that's the case, and maybe that's why Spirit chose this specific Lenormand deck. But I'm really curious to see what's going to come out of that. We also have your tarot shuffle already, but let's dive straight into your oracle. All right, so we are looking at what is flowering for you. So let's start with our first oracle here. Actually, let me start me over here. Yeah. All right, so we have surrender. I'm hearing harmonics and acoustics of the universe. Also surrendering to your intuition. Okay. Very mental energy here, being shift to more intuitive energy. Okay. We have the card that showed up in your selection process. So we have the Cosmos, and I shuffle these again, so definitely meant to come out. Okay, so we have Cosmos. 50 is being pointed out. 50, 51 also. Cosmos. Yeah, there's something surrendering to the rhythm of the cosmos and of life. Getting strong indication for that. Something at the super atomic level too. Super atomic. Okay. All right, let's look at our oracles further. We have gratitude. I see a lot of intuition, third eye stuff going on. Perhaps there's a clash of duality between the mental cerebral realm and the intuitive third eye pineal gland realm. Something with that area of the body, that anatomy within the skull, the pineal gland, the third eye, thoughts, thinking. Yeah, so let's find out more and see if we can decipher what Spirit is trying to tell us. I want to look at these first and then these things. Okay, so we have fullness. In your death of ceremony, it's when you find some sort of illumination or reprieve that's already within you. It's full within you, but you're going through cycles that are plagued by swords, by the mental elements, air. Okay. Yeah, that's falling under surrender here. So I'm going to put this just a little bit there. Okay, and then we have growth, falling under gratitude. Cycles. And talking about flowering, it's a proliferative cycle of flowering that is encouraged. It's encouraged because the time is ripe. Yes. Okay. Oops, we have the picture here. My relationships are supposed to feel good. And when I was doing your shuffling process for all the cards, yeah, I got a it's not there anymore, but it's an indication. It's like a pain in on the side of my head. So channeling that energy coming through, we see a lot of circuits here, a lot of mental connection strings going on. And this is the mood that we're getting here. My relationships are supposed to feel good. There's something going on that's plaguing your mind, that's bringing you in a kind of like a downtrodden mood. Is this present, past, or future? I'm healing present. Okay. All right, let's read the message. Your life is supposed to feel good to you. Before your birth, you knew that the primary component of your physical experience that would offer the greatest value for your personal and collective expansion and joy would be the relationships that you would experience with each other. It was your plan to relish the diversity of your relationships and to choose from them the details that would make up your creations. And here you are. Okay. This is talking about choice and what seemingly is negative relationships that plague your mind or things that plague your mind. The experiences we go through, stars, is what we have chosen and predetermined. Well, most of them. This is an analogy I have. It's like when you go into a restaurant, before having the meal, right? You look at the menu and you peruse through it and you're like, oh, okay, I never had lobster bisque before. I never had, coq au vin. I never had a niçoise salad. So let me order with the waiter and have those things because you never experienced them before. And that's like prior to incarnating into this being, you're like, well, I never had an abusive relationship before. I don't know what that's like. It sounds interesting. Or I never had a loving relationship before. That sounds interesting. I had never experienced that in any of my incarnations. So let's put on that on the menu because you have no idea, right? You don't know what lobster bisque tastes like, whether it's disgusting, whether it's delicious. You don't know, so you put down the order for it. So in the same way that we go through with our relationships, and we don't know what it feels like viscerally, and until we incarnate, and we're like, oh, that's what a breakup feels like. It's kind of bitter. I don't like that, and I'm not gonna order that next time. So yes, as we incarnate into life, what seemingly plagues our mind and happens, quote unquote, to us, it's more so the selection that we have chosen. It's to help us grow or just to help us experience. It's like, well, I never had a loving relationship in one of my incarnations, so let's put that up in the next incarnations. And it turns out to be wonderful. It's like, oh, this tastes sweet and delicious, so I'm going to order that next time. Yes, so it's about releasing the mental attachment in regards to your circumstances, your experiences, your perceptions around them. Yes, there needs to be something of a release here at an atomic level. Okay, let's look at our final oracle before we tie all that in. We have grounding. How appropriate to fall right here. Okay, so I have grounding. Two message here. So yes, grounding for your mind not to like wander, not wonder, wander with an A, not an O. Because when you ground yourself, then you do have the ability for your mind to wander with an O. It allows downloads and connection from light and from spirit to come through when you have a vessel that is very attuned, very well grounded. But first, it's a matter of grounding your energy. Yes, so your flowering has to do with, it's a process. It's a process of either getting into your alignments, your attunements, your ascension, your growth, your personal development, your psychic abilities, your powers. Yeah, there's a lot of that nature here. We're getting a lot of third eye energy coloration as well, all the purples and the blues. But first, in order to get there, we have to venture deep into parts of ourselves and recognize what needs to be acknowledged, what needs to be learned, what needs to be let go, and what needs to be enhanced. Yes. Yeah. So I think your main impediments into your flowering here, as we can see, to really fully tap into the potential of the cosmos and to your power atom or your power atomic level and to your third eye, your so perhaps some of you are doing a lot of self-growth work, shadow work, things like that, to become fully ascended versions of what you are or what you want to become. And in order to do that, it takes some self-introspection, but it's more so, yeah, it's funny how it is, because when you go into self-introspection, you have to use your mind, right? But what's encouraged here is to remove the plaguing of the mind and the thoughts that will allow you to go into full bloom and full blossom and full flowering. So the other way you can do it is to ground in nature, or find grounding, whatever that means to you. It could be basically taking a bath and letting your mind stop worrying, stop over obsessing, over stressing, in order to go into its full growth. And then that's when your blossoming process can begin. I see like this, going from this phase of working on yourself into growth, but it's kind of like delineated by the mental factors. It's almost like the mental factors are impeding that shift. Okay, so we looked at the energy. We want to look at your tarot next, but let me grab a drink just really quickly. Okay. So I don't have to clear my throat like 20 times during your reading. Okay, so they want me to look at your tarot next before we look at your cookie jar. Okay, so for your tarot, we have the 10 of Wands. Depleted and listless. Okay. Yes, it's been a tiresome journey for you, pile number 2. We have the King of Pentacles. Keeping up with the world, perhaps. We have the High Priestess. So much intuitive energy coming through your reading. Okay, and then we have the 6 of Cups. And then we have the 5 of Cups. I almost feel like it wants to go this way. Okay, let's shift this. So you can see it there. Okay, we have to know, Spirit. What is the struggle Pile 2 is going through? It's been a long, arduous journey. Yeah, some struggles along the way, but it's just, it's a spiritual journey you've been going on. It's a spiritual journey balancing with your life. Balancing with your everyday life activities, requirements. That's what I mean. So, yeah, because the what we see is the richness of the richness and the physical aspect of daily physical life is pleasurable, yes, but it's not fulfilling you on a spiritual level or purpose. That's why you've been seeking it out for so long, or at least it's been in the back burner of your priorities, and recently now it's coming to the forefront. You see how this person is entangled here. It's like Spirit's bringing all this richness and blessings and all this time, like through the earlier phases of your life. Perhaps, yes, some of you are older here. We're talking about 50, 51 here. But even if we do have a younger crowd or viewers tuning in here, it's whatever richness that you have from the physical life and aspect, definitely pleasurable. Do not get me wrong. But it's not fulfilling spiritually. It doesn't inspire you, right? It's like, sure, yeah, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the cars and houses, you can go on as many trips as you want. But somewhere along the way, that becomes mechanical. It becomes rudimentary, is the word. And it becomes, you don't get the richness from these grapes here, from these, you don't get the richness from the beauty of life, is what we would say. It's like you observe your wealth here, or what you've gotten to this point, and yeah, it's so much money, it's plenty of wealth, sure. But you can see the expression of this king here. He's rather bored. He's like, so what? I have all this wealth. Perhaps, yeah, you're not able to share it, not living the full life dream that you want, because you've been so focused on work and with the physical realm and the physical aspect of life, that now you're, that's why you're reaching so hard to go more towards spirituality, spiritual aspect. But the approach that you're doing it in is a lot on the mental realm, because that's how you are, right? You're very organized, you're very methodical, very methodical is it's a very good word to describe it. So everything is succinct, everything is planned out, but Spirit works a bit more spontaneously. And they're pointing out, kind of like this fish in this cup here, or even this crab bringing this cup here. It's like, it's those kind of things that are unexpected, right? You don't expecting to see a fish jumping out of a cup and doing a water geyser, feet here, or you don't expect a crab bringing a cup to you. It's those kind of unexpected things in life that really gives life its richness, its wonder, its surprises, yes. And it's a matter of letting go, not letting go, surrender the thoughts of how strict and how methodical things should be, because that works really well to acquire wealth and a structured life. But that's not quite how spirit works. Spirit, when you want to work more in that realm, things are a lot more smooth, more flowing, more intuitive, more unknown. There's a strong air of mystery to how things work, because things in terms of energy doesn't work so linearly, is what I'm getting. Yes, it works with energy flows. It doesn't go from A to B. No, it's so much potential. It doesn't limit like that. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I need to be on that point any longer. But those are the advice we have. And we know what you're seeking. We know why, the reason behind it is this kind of... Now the dog cookie jar analogy is making a lot more sense, because the first thing that comes to me was the lid. Spirit wanted the lid first and foremost. We don't care about the shape of the jar, or that it's see-through, or that it's opaque, right? Spirit wanted me specifically to get the lid first. And the lid, it's kind of like that prevention, right? That's the lid that's going... Those are the mental thoughts, perhaps, but it's the lid that covers, that allow you looking. It's like the dog on the table panting, looking at the cookie. It's like, oh, I want the cookie so badly, and the cookie is the inspiration and richness and spiritual aspects of life that you're so desiring, but you're blocked by this cookie jar, and there's a lid firmly on top of it. So let's look at and see what this lid is. Okay. This lid is the cross. Okay. Yes, it certainly is. Let's see here. So the energy we're picking up on this lid, on this cross. Yeah. It looks where it falls. It's a burden. And we have the dog, which is the anchor. This is both your energy and encouraging you towards something else. And let's see what your cookie is. Your cookie is the coffin. We see this lovely bouquet on top of the coffin here. It's time to come out of your... It's time to come out of your shell. It's time to come out of your shell. It's time to end this cycle. Pile number 2 is the strong message here. And yes, it can be rather difficult for you, because we talked about the methodical structure and nature of your just who you are, right? That's just how you have developed over the course of your life, and those are some of your strongest strengths. But at the same time, they can also be some of your strongest challenges. We need somebody who's organized, methodical, structured, in order to create many wonderful things, to create an empire of things, to create a life so well suited for them, and perhaps their family as well, also. But at the same time, it's that structure and that rigidity that sometimes it's a bit too weighing down, like an anchor. An anchor is good and it's necessary when you want the ship not to float away. But at the same time, if it's dug too deep, and when you do need to go away, or when you need to move, you can't budge. So there has to be some sort of compromise and an ending to these thoughts, these structure, these firmness, the strictness that weighs you down, that prevents you from getting that richness of life, getting all the wonders and the blessings and the gifts of life on a spiritual aspect, on an inspirational aspect, on just joy aspect overall. because you feel like up to this point, and some okay, religion is not coming much too strongly out here. It's more so a burden. Your strongest point can also be your strongest challenge. It's the main message we want to convey. And the advice for that is to tap into your inner child, to acknowledge your inner child, to ground yourself. So ground, let your thoughts dissipate, and then tap into a time in your life or a mental state in your life when you had more hope and wonder about the world, when you expect the unexpected and also leave life to its mysteries, to being curious, to being open to what is possible, without having to control, having to dictate, having to want things to happen in a certain way. Yes. So part of your flowering and blossoming is part of your becoming. Yes, and you have a more stern message than pile number 1, but it is an important message, because as you allow this flowering to take place, this letting go of these mental burdens and these strict patterns that really just burdens you and prevents you from getting your cookie more than anything else, then things will flow a lot better. Your progress will be better, and life will be a lot more enriching for you. So yes, let that be the advice for you to ponder, to consider, without overburning your mind about it. All right, pile number 2, I wish you the best of luck with that. There's many, time, I mean, life can be a lot more joyful and smooth flowing, if you choose to let it be so, by grounding, by tapping into more joyful, youthful energy, perhaps prior to when you have structured yourself this way. All right, so I would recommend going forward, getting that cookie, and enjoying it. Let life be more fruitful for you and more joyful for you. All right, pile number 2, that was your reading. If you enjoyed it, liked it, found it helpful and insightful, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe for more messages if you have not. I wish you a wonderful, absolutely magical day. Take care of yourself, shine bright, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, pile number 2s. Hello, pile 3s. Welcome to your very interesting reading here. So Spirit just has one oracle for you today, and we have 2 of these. And for you, Lenormand, we do not have a form. We only have 2 cards. Also, I think probably meant to be used as oracles as well. I have no idea. I shuffle them, but I don't know what they have in store for us. So, and we do have a lot of cards for your tarot, however. So maybe that's how Spirit wanted to set up this way. And something else Spirit wanted to point out is, well, and more so, excuse me, in your selection process for your decks, we have a lot of purples coming through. I don't know if that's significant, but I guess, yeah, if it does mean something to you, then please do claim that message. All right, so we are looking at what is flowering for you, what is blossoming for you, what is, or perhaps what you are flowering into. We'll find out. So let's dive straight into it with your first oracle here. We have answering the call. The time is now. we see you a little bit lost-ish, or more so not directly seeing eye to eye with spirit. It's like spirit's there in front of you, but you're like, I'm still moving, looking around. So there's something calling to you. I don't know why, but I'm getting herbalism coming through, druidship, plants. Yeah, a lot of those energies. So traditions, herbalism, things of those nature. But something's calling your purpose. Okay. And let's look at this card. We have grounding with go deep, explore your roots. So yes, something in lineage, something in older form. Yeah, a lot of guidance and spirit. You're about to enter a world here. I'm getting reminded of kind of Alice in Wonderland vibes, like entering a world. Yes, going through a doorway, a gateway into a portal. We are talking about the 1111 portal here, which is about getting into the best versions of ourselves. So, yes, but definitely exploring your roots is standing out to me very strongly. So perhaps exploring lineage, exploring studies and fields that stems back to ancient knowledge, history that you had not been called to before or acknowledged before, or have always been called to but never really dove deep into it as, say, like a career or a profession or something like that. Yes, but there's an encouragement to go back via lineage or deep roots or some sort of lineage of information that is passed through. Perhaps that's why the druidry and herbalism is also calling out to you. Okay, let's see what your other Lenormand oracles are. We have the house. Yeah, getting very witchy vibes here. So if that is tradition that you ascribe to or have always been interested in or wanted to ascribe to, that is the message here. Okay, and then we have the key. Okay. And okay, so a couple of messages with this key. Since we're reading as an oracle here, I see this cross kind of like, lineage, spirituality, devotion, to some sort of group, roots, cause, calling, things of those sort. But this also was pointed out to me. 3-3 might also be significant for you. 3-3-4-4 here as we split the 8. This is also a skeleton key, which I see here. Once you have access to a certain thing, a certain knowledge, a certain lineage or something like that, it opens the doorway and the gateway to everything else. It's almost like this person is in her own garden, in her own house, being kind of just behind these gates all the time. But then now that it's open, or when the door opens, then she's able to have access to all of this magical woods here in the background. Yes. All right, so very curious and interesting energy, and this is all they gave us today. This is all Spirit gave us today. It's just these two Lenormands and your oracles for the presiding overall energy. So in terms of your blossoming, your flowering, it's Yeah, the key of the flowering, the key is the flowering. It's what will grant you access to everything else. But first you must heed the call and take up the call. So if something's been calling to you, a project, a partnership, some sort of self-development, some form of knowledge that just right now a bird just flew out too, just like this bird here on top of bringing you the message, calling you literally like a bird does. Yes, feed into your your calling and then go research it or go after it and see what waits you on the other side. That's the strong message here. All right, so let's dive into your tarot. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And then we have the Empress. And we have the Five of Cups. And then we have the Four of Cups. And let's see, do I want to split this two ways, Spirit? Yes, I do. Okay. Or should we say we want to split it this way? Okay. And then next we have the Ace of Cups. Communion. And then we have the Page of Wands. Okay, and on this side, we have the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Talk about lineage. Okay. And we have the Lovers. And then we have Strength. Next we have the Three of Pentacles. And then we have the World. Okay. Alright, give me a moment here, lovely stars. So on this side with answering the call and then grounding. Because we have a lot of messages here. Okay. So let's speak to... Okay, hold on. It's something that you've been something that's been in progress that you've been working on, but it feels like an obligation. Okay, I'm getting bombarded with so many images and so many messages. Give me a second here. Let's see. Okay, let me pause the video real quick, stars, and let me get a grapple on all this energy. So hold on. Alright, lovely stars. Yes, I was just getting hit with so much energy that I had to kind of ground and get everything together, because like all this energy of you being obligated, this project and this lineage coming through, and then feeling control and then choice and exposure, and it was like a lot. But we managed to like kind of wrangle the energy and get a cohesive message here. So yes, let's start with this side. Yeah, it's a lot of energy to deal with and get bombarded with, but let's talk about the essence of this calling that is reaching out for you. The essence around it is lineage. It's lineage based. It's knowledge and information that is rooted in lineage. There's a tradition or a lineage of sorts, by a matriarch or some sort of figure that has been passed down the lines. Yes, so it's like passing down the information, passing down the torch via the generations through the lines now to you. So that's why it feels like an obligation, more so than a flowering. Because this flowering is a choice. Whether you take up the mantle, whether you take up the torch to carry it along, to carry this lineage, this tradition, this information, this work along, is entirely up to you. Whether you even wanted to bring it out to the world or expose it, yeah, you feel like there's this like strong sense of grasp or control that you need to have around it, because and that's the energy we're not clear about. There's a couple energies we're still not clear about here, and why you're feeling that way. Perhaps it's the obligation, but it's asking you to, it's requiring a lot of strength to carry this torch, carry this lineage, carry this information through, probably even to its through the next generation too, is what we want to say. But yeah, some sort of carrying on of this lineage, this calling, perhaps it can even be an ability, is what's coming through as well. Yeah, but it seems like it's a lot of work. Well, it feels more like, well, work is not the right word. Perhaps there is a lot of work around it, but the best word to describe it, it feels like an obligation. It feels obligatory rather than something you want to do or carry. That's why we're asking, that's why the choice card is coming up here. So let's get some clarification on this. Because we want to have some smooth advice for you, or if we can. So can we please know, Spirit, for pile number 3, first of all, what is the nature of this knowledge or thing that pile 3 is? Well, that might not be so significant, because that will vary for each and every one of you. But if we can know, perhaps the nature of it will give us clue as to why it's so burdensome for pile 3 here. And then can we also know what is the best way to approach this for pile number 3? Whether they choose to make the choice to pick up the torch, or to keep on going about their daily life as is. So let's be clear with our question here. What is this obligation that pile 3 feels? And then what is your advice in regards to this obligation or choice, Spirit? Yes. Okay, so we have 6 cards here. 1, 2, 3. 3 for this side and 3 for the other side. So for pile number 3, please, Spirit, what is making Pile3 feel so obligated, and how can they how can they best approach this? Okay. All right, Pile3. So we have the Seven of Cups. Makes a lot of sense. We have the Five of Pentacles. I see. And we have Justice. Quite contractual it is. Sword and knowledge. Conveying that knowledge through... Yeah. Okay, so we do have a glimpse here, especially with this card here, as to why. Okay, and then let's see this side. We have the Page of Wands. Okay, thank you. That is a lovely message. We have the Ten of Wands. And then we have the King of Cups. Okay, so let's speak to the first question we asked, is why does this feel like an obligation? Why does it feel so obligated? We also have 11111 coming out on the clock here, so just want to note that. But yeah, the reason why it feels so obligated, because we're talking about choice again. But we're talking about not only choice, but we're talking about different kind of obligations. Is that the case, Spirit? More so it has to be done in a certain way, yes. It's interesting because the Seven of Cups usually talks about the ability and choice to choose, but it feels like with all these cups stacking up a certain way, it feels like you feel obligated to do this, or to pass on this lineage or information in a very precise, methodical ways. And this is the main essence here. You see those that have come before you, it has caused them some sort of strife, grief, burden around it. What seems like a blessing for those you encounter around you, whether it's an ability, whether it's information, whether it's knowledge, it almost like that dynamic between let's say like a psychic ability, for just a random example, that feels like it can either be a gift or a curse, right? So it's that kind of nature, because you see those who have come before you. It's like, oh, my mother was a medium, my grandfather, grandmother, whatever, my aunts, uncles, they were mediums, and they had a lot of hard time dealing with it. It was an ability that was passed through the lineage. But yeah, I would say it's contractual, which means that your lineage or this information was meant to find you and was meant to be passed on to you. Whether you think that is or not in the case of what it is here, it's just the nature of what has come about. So that's why this thing feels so burdensome, feels obligatory, and at the same time does not feel like a blessing at times. Perhaps at times it does, but then at times it does not. It has that duality to it. And the advice we're talking about here in regards to this is to look at it with new vision, to look at it from different perspectives and angles, while recognizing it is not just easy, free-flowing, free-going rainbows and unicorns. It's work. It's a lot of work. It's not a walk in the park. It's something that you have to carry if you do choose to take up the mantle. Let's say if, like, we use that medium example, right? If the medium ability or the ability to commune with the spiritual world is something that comes in your lineage, it's going to be a burden because it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to require certain things of you. It's going to require you to do certain things. But it's your perspective of it that is advised to shift your emotions around it, to be in control of it. And this King of Cups here, usually when the King of Cups arrives, it signifies somebody who's very well attuned in their emotion, very well adept and flow with it. But the expression we see on this, even the barnacles that he carries, is almost like a burden. But he's learned to master this in a way where it fits into the flow of his life smoothly. So that's what's coming through. It's not that it's not going to cause you burdens or upheavals or sometimes emotional struggles and even like mental stress, because it's a burden, so it surely can. It's a lot of work, as with anything. But your perception around it, or your perception about it, will be what dictates whether you are comfortable with this knowledge, with this information, with this ability, or it will dictate your struggle with it. So, yes. The essence of the blossoming here, or the flowering, as the title indicates for this reading, is what I picked up from before we even did any of the piles or any of the reading. It's the nature of a plant going through the struggle of flowering. It's a very sometimes it can be a very easy process, just from seed to plant to flower and straight away, no problem. The conditions and the soil and the plants and around it that has to challenge with, or the weather condition, it's just right, easy flowering. Sometimes the other way around. Think of like a flower in the desert, right? It's when it blooms after like the rain, is so beautiful, but it's so challenging to get the right condition, the right amount of water for it to flourish, to flower, so to blossom. So it can be challenging in that circumstance. So it's more so how you shift your perspective around this ability, this gift, this information you've been given, this position, perhaps if it's like a workplace kind of thing, that will provide you the emotional comfort around it, or just being comfortable with this calling that speaks out. So ultimately it's a choice for you, but it's almost like a choice, because whether we'll use that mediumship kind of example again, whether you choose to take up the torch or the mantle or not, it's something you already have, right? It's something that's already been bestowed to you. So now that you have it, it's like what you do with it can either give you comfort or it can give you discomfort. And that's the best way I can put it. Yeah. Alright, so that is the advice in regards to this flowering for you, pile number 3. It seems like, it could go either way. It is entirely up to you. There's a lot of choice advice here. So it can be very smooth, but it's entirely up to you. So shift your perceptions around it, and it'll, yes, hopefully give you a more smoother approach to it and make your life easier as well. All right, lovely Pile number 3, that was your reading. I hope that helps. And if you did find it helpful or insightful, please consider hitting that like button. Subscribe for more messages if you are not subscribed already. And I wish you a wonderful, magical day. Hopefully you can use some time to ground, some time to think, to kind of dive into this adventure and find a way to best resolve this for you, or best smoothly flow this way for you. Yes. So all right, with that, shine bright, take care, and I will see you in the next reading, Pile number 3. Bye.